From the national newsroom of the Canadian Press, I'm Karen Rebo. Canadians with ties to Hong Kong have been watching with anxiety the news and videos of the fires that have been raging through 7 high-rise apartment towers there for a second day. The tragedy has left at least 55 people dead, dozens more injured, and more than 275 people missing. Here's Hong Kong Fire's Derek Armstrong-Chan.
The temperature inside the fire scene is still very high, so we have difficulties in proceeding to upper floors of 2 of the buildings.
Conservative MP for British Columbia's Richmond Centre Marpole riding, Chuck Au, says he's praying more survivors can be rescued. He says the complex on fire in Tai Po district is not far from where he worked in the 80s as an assistant professor at the Chinese University of Hong Kong. Prime Minister Mark Carney is expected to unveil an agreement with Alberta today, which could pave the way for a new oil pipeline in exchange for stronger environmental regulations, while also walking back some of Ottawa's climate policies.
Alberta Premier Danielle Smith says her government has been negotiating a grand bargain with Ottawa, which would see the proposed Pathways Alliance carbon capture project move forward alongside a proposed oil pipeline to the West Coast. Carney told reporters yesterday the memorandum is about more than just one thing.
It's about building this economy. It's about making Canada more independent.
Standing in the way is opposition from the BC government and a moratorium on oil tankers. Bill Graveland, the Canadian Press.
Muslim students at a Montreal university say they are deeply troubled by the Quebec government's plan to ban prayer rooms in post-secondary schools. They say the prayer room at Concordia University is visited by at least 500 students a day. U.S. President Donald Trump says yesterday's shooting attack on 2 National Guard members near the White House highlights the dangers of lax migration policies. Both Guard members were hospitalized in critical condition. Trump says the suspect who was shot, wounded, and in custody is an Afghan national who entered the U.S. after Kabul's collapse. Here's reporter Lionel Moise.
CIA Director John Ratcliffe telling Fox News the suspect in the D.C. shooting previously worked with the CIA and U.S. forces in Afghanistan, and that's why he was allowed to come to the U.S. in 2021 after the U.S. withdrawal. ABC News has not confirmed that report. The Trump administration is now suspending immigration requests from Afghanistan pending a review of security protocols.
And large parts of Ontario are getting a snowy hit from Old Man Winter as the week winds down. Environment Canada has issued winter storm warnings for a stretch of northern Ontario where snowfall amounts could total between 30 and 60 centimeters by tomorrow. Hazardous snow squalls could bring the same amount to areas of central Ontario, and parts of southern Ontario are bracing for anywhere from 10 to 30 centimeters of snow and blowing snow. This is the Canadian Press. In sports, make it 9 wins in a row for the Toronto Raptors. Brandon Ingram drilled a 15-foot jump shot with less than a second left to play as the Raptors came out on top of a wild 97-95 win over the Indiana Pacers. The red-hot Raptors clinched a top 2 seed in the quarterfinals of the NBA Cup. It's a 3-game slate in the NFL for American Thanksgiving later today. The U.S. holiday begins with the Detroit Lions hosting the Green Bay Packers. There are no games on the NHL schedule tonight. 30 of 32 teams played yesterday, though. Among them, Toronto won 2-1 in overtime over Columbus. Montreal edged Utah 4-3. Vancouver beat Anaheim 5-4, and it was Ottawa knocking off Vegas 4-3 in a shootout. The Toronto Blue Jays are making noise in free agency. The AP reports the Blue Jays and starting pitcher Dylan Cease have agreed to a 7-year contract worth $210 million. From the Canadian Press, I'm Karen Rebo.
Thanks for listening. Don't forget to follow and subscribe. For more of today's top stories, visit thecanadianpressnews.ca.